The frustration of being so close, but absolutely not close enough is hard.
I thought we had enough evidence for something to happen, but we're still waiting.
Well, somebody stole thousands of dollars worth of their belongings, so this couple did their own detective work to track down the thief. They used a GPS tracker, but believe it or not, that still wasn't enough. Our I-Team's Ginger Allen then started her own investigation. She's live tonight for us at DFW Airport, where this all began. What happened here?
So, Doug, the husband and wife flew back into the airport. They had been away for a wedding. They picked up their luggage. They went out to the parking lot, put their luggage in their trunk, and realized their car wouldn't start. So they came back inside to call AAA and wait. But it's what they found when they went back out to their car that has really led to weeks of frustration and questions.
As soon as we get inside of the car, we noticed that stuff from his armrest was laying around the seat, and we're like, that's weird. We went to the trunk of the car and then noticed that an entire luggage of ours plus our backpack was missing.
Inside the stolen suitcase, jewelry, a laptop, and photos of the wedding Richie and Karuna had just attended. But it also held one important clue, an Apple AirTag.
At first, we were like, yes, there's an AirTag in there. So immediately after realizing that, I looked at my phone and tracked it for probably the next 3 to 4 hours.
They say the tracker stopped moving around midnight at an apartment complex in Dallas near Love Field.
As soon as we realized that, we alerted the police and said, here is the AirTag location. It is right here. It hasn't moved for hours. Is there anything you guys can do to go over there? And so they'd said an AirTag isn't enough. We came to the conclusion that we need more.
The couple says they had no intention of confronting anyone. They were simply looking for more evidence. The property manager let them search through surveillance video from the evening before. Sure enough, they spotted a man with an ivory backpack and a green suitcase. And that wasn't all.
So he parked outside and he walked inside the complex, and he's wearing my Houston Rockets shirt. I could immediately tell by the red colors in the black shirt and the green luggage, and he's just walking in.
What's going through your mind when you're watching this video?
I was like, hey, that's one of my favorite shirts. I thought we were good to go. The police would be there. We waited at the apartment complex for almost 5 hours, and that's where my frustrations began. I thought we had enough evidence for something to happen, but we're still waiting.
That got us wondering, how useful are GPS trackers in theft investigations? The I-Team covered a case last year involving an AirTag and a missing moving truck. In that situation, the AirTag helped a detective get a search warrant for a storage unit in Dallas.
That's my ladder.
Where the belongings were hidden. But it's not always that easy.
A tracker will not necessarily ensure that you get your property back.
Doug Deaton is a former police officer turned private investigator. He says allowing private citizens to gather their own evidence can actually complicate a case.
Imagine if somebody came to you and said, hey, I lifted these fingerprints from the scene of a burglary that took place on my property. Here's the bad guy's fingerprints. I want you to go do something with that. Find that person and arrest them. Well, nobody in their right mind would actually expect the police to rely on those fingerprints.
We asked a dozen police departments in DFW about their policies regarding GPS trackers. Most said an officer could knock on a door and ask about a device pinging at the location, but the person wouldn't have to answer any questions. And if the stolen goods really are there, it could leave the thief to move the items or destroy the tracker. But Deaton says staffing issues and high priority calls make even a door knock unlikely to happen.
What would explain why officers haven't gone out and knocked on the door?
These situations can be extremely frustrating, both for citizens and for line officers themselves. I know that for a fact. Many officers wish that they could go in there, search the location, and recover that property. But again, trackers are not probable cause.
And this was pinging within the last hour?
Yes, within the last hour.
That means all Richie and Karuna can do now is watch and wait.
It's so close, but yet so far.
So adding to the challenge of all of this involves 2 different police departments. That device is pinging in Dallas, but DPD is going to refer back to DFW Airport Police to try to get a search warrant. We have reached out to the airport police, but because this is an ongoing investigation, they will not comment. But I can tell you, Doug, since we've begun asking questions, the airport police have been back out to the site where this was taken, according to Karuna, but they did not knock on any doors.
Yeah. I think most of us think in general, that's my stuff, my tracker's in there. So bottom line, is it even worth it after watching this play out to put trackers in our stuff?
I'm going to say after everything we've learned, yes, it still is. Because if your stuff is stolen, you're going to file a police report. But here's what you need to do. You make sure you screenshot where the device is and include those screenshots with the police report. And then you also want to make sure that you come and show the police department that this is still pinging there. And remember, if you go back out there, they're probably going to ask you to go along with them and show that it is being tracked to that location.
Well, knowledge is power, and we all got a little bit smarter because of their story tonight, and you and the I-Team. Ginger, thank you so much.